feeling humiliation due to societal pressure. So this is kind of a humiliation that you're not like putting it on yourself because of an incident, but rather, let's say, because of societal pressure, you have to marry by the age of 30. Then let's say you're 31, you're like, oh man, and then you feel like humiliated that you haven't married yet, or you don't have a job after college, and then everybody else has a job, but I don't have a job. Oh man, and then there are so many other things that society puts pressure on you, and then I do want to make the distinction that when I say society put pressure, it doesn't really matter whether the society actually puts the pressure, but it's whether the person thinks a society is putting pressure on these areas. And so, like, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, I can go. Wait, so I feel like at the start of the call we discussed, what kind of humiliation means. So when it comes to societal pressures, I don't know if it falls under humiliation, because I don't think it does, because it's more of it's more of something that happens in public setting, like in a physical space. So with this question, I feel like it's just people feeling bad about themselves. People. I don't know if it's humiliation is the right word. Like is guilt the right word? I don't know. It's not even guilt. Is there a word for it, or am I just seeing it differently? Sia?
No, I think
I'm using the.
Sorry, go ahead, Akshay.
Okay, I'm using the word humiliation because it is still like, while it didn't actually happen in public. It is still about the public opinion of yourself. I mean, the opinion that you have about what the public thinks of you, what the society thinks of you, and then whether and the thing is, like the reason why public shame is a humiliating thing is because you think that the public, the people in the public are going to judge you, and that's why it's humiliating. If nobody else was there, then it's not really humiliating. If nobody in the public is going to judge you for it, they all think it's okay, and you think that they're going to think it's okay too, then it wouldn't be a problem at all. But then over here, you still do think that the public, the people there are going to judge you, and that's why you have a problem with it. And that is why I picked this question and used the word humiliation.
That makes
Sia, you had something to say?
Yeah, I think Akshay was trying to get at like the public part of it, that aspect of humiliation, about thinking about, oh, what do people think of me? I think humiliation here can be tied in by asking the question, you can be humiliated because of certain things that have happened in your life and not just things that you've done. So you could show up at a wedding and then someone, a friend might just say to you on the side, oh, you're the only one who hasn't gotten married. And that could be humiliating, right? So it doesn't necessarily even have to involve, it could just involve both feelings of you feeling behind and also somebody else calling that out. So I think humiliation could be tagged in that way if you want to, frame the question that way. When it's difficult for us to, as a generation, feel okay about who we are, because we have so many examples available of somebody who has one quality in common with us but has a completely different life, and then we just focus on that one quality and think, oh, that worked out for them, why didn't it work out for me? And while very conveniently ignoring the other factors. And I don't know if that was always the case for generations before us, because they didn't have this much information. Not everybody's career paths were available on LinkedIn. Not everyone's, timelines were available on Facebook. And so we tend to have so many examples of success. So for example, if I think I'm failing because I'm an international student, I could find 10 examples of international students who are succeeding. And then I'm going to conclude, oh, it's because it's me. It has nothing to do with me being an international student. And so if someone calls me out on that and I'm like, oh, how come you don't have a job? That's going to feel humiliating to me, because now I've convinced myself it's not because of some choice, and it's not because of something, that I've done. It's because of who I am. It's because of some character flaw. So I think the easiest way to avoid that is to recognize that you only see the highlights of people's lives, be it on social media or even your friends. Nobody is going to sit down in a talk and tell you every single bad thing that has happened to them. So just to keep that in perspective and recognize that maybe what you think is humiliating isn't. It's common, and you're, internally attributing it more than you need.
I do want to provide context that when Sia said as an international student, it's because from India, she went to United States to study in a US university called Purdue University. And that is, so because if she's from India and she studied in US, she is termed as an international student. Anyway, Vyaas?
Yeah, that was a good answer, because internalizing that, leads to, negative, can have, bad consequences personally. So dealing with humiliation, I think this example, this question is similar to the previous one, where you asked overcoming the fear of humiliation. So it ties into the fact that you developing a sense of self, and focusing on strengths, and looking at your weaknesses honestly as well. So that can help with feeling humiliated, and being grateful and thankful. So those things can help. They may not seem like they help, but in the long run, they can help. And the thing about humiliation is it's some of these things. So some of the humiliating moments are just humiliating at that point. If you don't internalize it, maybe 5, 10, 15 years later, they might just be embarrassing moments that you just laugh with your friends. So because what's humiliating when you were in 5th grade is just a joke that you share with people. So there are some cases where humiliation just turns as an embarrassing experience, like in the future as you move forward. So that's just an interesting thought.
It's good that you bring up the point that sometimes the humiliation later, it might not be really a humiliating incident. It's just that at the moment, because you were just humiliated by if some incident where somebody they called you out for one of the societal things, then it feels a bit bad. And you may not really feel that way once you've gone past it. So if it's with marriage, then once you're married, you won't really care about it. And if it's a job, once you have a job, you won't really care about it. But while I do say those things, there can be negative effects too, where you might be putting yourself down because of this one thing every single day, and then that could just lead to trauma, because if you put yourself down every single day because of this, and then let's say if it's a job, then once you get the job, you would feel good, but then the next time you have to search for a job, that could still be you might have PTSD from it, because you went through a traumatic incident here where you kept putting yourself down every single time. And similarly, with marriage, if hopefully it doesn't happen, but let's say it does go to divorce, and then you have to marry someone again, then would you be receptive to the fact that marriage is not a bad thing? It's just happened that it's it didn't go well for you. Would you be okay with that? And those are things that they might not come easy to you because of these things. So it could affect people in different ways. It could be really small as well as really big.
Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you'd like to see more videos on the topic, make sure to check out our playlist where we answer more questions. We'll see you next time.